I am Curran Bhatia speaking to Keith, one-time Thurman. Keith, you just came off of your win against Mario Barrios. You improved to 33-1 with 22 KOs. After the fight, I know you said you graded yourself a C+, B-, and you said you kind of treated him like a sparring partner. Now that it's been a few days, how do you look back on your performance? And is there anything that you would have done differently in your performance?
It's interesting, because you work so hard to prepare for one night. On that night, there's no guarantee how you're really going to feel. You got a little bit of time backstage. You got to get your mind right, get your body right. But it was a great fight overall. I was happy to be back in the ring. He was very poised. Seemed like he was more interested in counterpunching. I didn't really expect that. I expected a young, hungry fighter to come in and be a little bit more active, especially since he has a good jab. I thought he would try to work behind the jab, maybe try to control me with the jab a little bit. But when I saw how flat-footed he was approaching, I just knew that I'd be able to do everything that I wanted to do in there. So I did that. Eventually after rocking him early on, I decided to box a little bit more because he was tough. He was standing up to the punches, even though he was rocked. He kept his hands up pretty well. I was trying to bait him into making more mistakes. He was being way too conservative, which minimized his overall mistakes. So all in all, I just thought it was a good fight. He's a durable fighter. And yeah, I wonder what else you want to walk away with here.
There was a lot made about the gloves. I know that he wanted 10-ounce gloves. You would have preferred 8-ounce gloves. Would that have made a difference? And do you feel that you would have gotten a stoppage had the gloves been different?
You can argue anything on that note. I don't like talking about things that don't matter, because it's not what happened in the fight. At the end of the day, he was hurt. If I would have been able, if I would have just committed more, I think I would have been able to get him out of there, period. So I think I just need to commit more when I'm working. I said in my post-fight conference, I blame my sparring partners. I think throughout the years, I just found a way to be a nice guy. Kind of, you hit people and you let them breathe a little too much instead of really taking the last ounce of them out before they can recover and end the fight quicker. I have 22 knockouts for a reason. I started my professional career with 8 consecutive first KOs and TKOs. So I know what it takes to get a fighter out of there. And it's a very special mindset. It's a very forceful approach into the energy that you put behind every single one of your punches. But obviously, with maximum effort becomes maximum reward. So I just think I need to just put in a little bit more of that max effort, that Mike Tyson nature, that real raging bull. And I think I can get more knockouts later on in my career. And that Keith one-time Thurman is not done when it comes to that KO potential.
We know that you've quoted Phil Ivey in terms of having that poker face, and we usually see you poised in there. But of course, in the 8th round, you got hit with the body shot. It looked like you spit out the mouthpiece to get some air. It seemed like it was similar to what happened against Pacquiao late in that fight. I believe it was the 10th round in that fight. Is that what happened? Was it kind of a similar situation? And is that anything that you have to be aware of going forward? I know that you said even in the locker room when you put the chest guard on, it hurt a little bit. So is that something that you're going to keep an eye on going forward?
I wonder why my stomach hurt before the fight, but it could have something to do. I'm going to talk to some of my nutrition people. It could have something to do with the way I eat after the weigh-ins. Might be an overload on my liver after being clean for so long. So I just have to address that. But, a good body shot's a good body shot no matter what. A liver shot, vulnerable spot in the body, especially when you lean out and you don't have fat protecting your rib cage no more. But at the end of the day, yeah, man, a good shot's a good shot. Sean Porter made a statement that Mario Barrios likes to counterpunch to the body. He likes to let his opponents come in. On the way out, he likes to throw 2-3 punches down to the body. You know, he tried to do some combination punching. I expected more combinations, better combinations. But, you know, after being hit by me early on, I'm pretty sure he was hesitant, similar to Danny Garcia, not really wanting to wake up till the 8th round or whatnot. You know, I think Barrios was in a similar situation, being hit by my power early on. But, you know, at the end, he definitely showed heart. He had good conditioning this fight. And, you know, they fought smart, but they just didn't fight hard enough.
And you won you won a unanimous decision, 118-110 on 2 scorecards, 117 to 111. It was definitely a dominant performance. You came out strong. We heard at the end of the fight that you actually had tried to bet on yourself, but they didn't take the cashier's check. So what was the reason they wouldn't accept your bet? And what was the bet? Were you going to bet on yourself straight up? Were you going to bet on the KO? What were you trying to bet there?
Oh yeah, you got to bet the knockouts, man. You got to bet the high risk, high reward. You know, you're in Vegas, baby. You got to play the game. But first round knockout was like 50 to 1, so I would have put something on that. And then, you know, at least I would swing. You know, I'd swing like at least 2 to 3 times just for the record books. You know, just knowing I put some money down. You know, what, 3,000 on 50 to 1. It's 150,000. You know, of a new car. You know, I mean, so I was just trying to have some fun. Obviously, I've never stayed here at this casino, but they're an MGM affiliate. So all I really had to do is make a phone call ahead of time, get some arrangements done. It would have made it a lot easier to get my bets in. I know better next time. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. And when I left the bookie, I said, well, you don't got no money down, so you don't have to put no gusto on anything. Just box hard, box smart, and whatever happens tonight happens. Fuck it. Let's not worry about nothing. And but you know, I had them rocked early. I would have had money down early, and you don't know, I might have swung for the dough. You know, so I like to play games, man. It's a sport. You know, you always have to bet on yourself if you're gonna bet. So it is what it is, man. I just love the sport of boxing. And sometimes the fight fan and the fighter want to participate at the same time. And that's why I go to the bookie like that.
And you were out of this sport for about 2.5 years. And I think everyone's excited that you're back in the sport. The division was evolving without you. And I know that must have been tough to see on the sidelines. Now you're right back in the mix. Obviously, the question is who's next? I know that you've said you want the title holders. It looks like Spence and Ugas are going to fight each other. We know that Crawford's out there. Boots Ennis has been named. So what would be your ideal scenario? Would you want the Spence-Ugas fight to play out and see who wins that? Would you want to fight Crawford and then maybe fight the winner of that fight? And also, how do you see the Spence-Ugas fight playing out as well?
Well, right now, you know, it's still just too early in the year, you know. My fight is one of the first, me coming back into the welterweight division at the start of 2022. You know, things have moved and pieces are going to shift. A few more pieces are going to shift before I'm back in the ring, no matter what. So boxing is just one of those things, like, where we don't have schedules. Everything's up for negotiation. You know, that's why Crawford, people talk about Crawford, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I be trying to tell everybody. It's real simple with Keith Thurman. You can talk whatever you want. You can go on 100 interviews. None of that matters. Where's my contract? How do you want to do business? You know? Write it up. Write it up. That's all I got to say.
Of course, we want to see that fight come together. We want to see you also face Spence-Ugas winner. That'd be another great fight. Your last time out 2.5 years ago, we know you fought the great Manny Pacquiao. Yep. I was really impressed by your performance against Pacquiao. I've said that many times, especially in round 1 before the knockdown. I think you really brought it to Pacquiao. You won one of the scorecards. When Pacquiao retired, What were your thoughts there? Were you, happy to see the legend go out, or were you a little bit upset because knowing that you wouldn't get a crack at that rematch?
I effed up, bro. That's it, man. It happens. It happens to human beings. It happens to athletes, movie stars, other sports figures. But at the end of the day, it happens to politicians. We be effing up, man. So 2019 just wasn't my best year. Just have a great mindset, a great focus, a great group of people with me back at home. And I just want to maximize this year, 2022. Stay busy as a fighter. That's more important. It's not like this fight is really the fight that I wanted, but it was a good fight to make happen and come back and perform for the fans and get some momentum going. So for me, momentum is key. But of course, I want big fights, and sooner or later they will manifest. Hopefully later this year.
And that leads me to my final question. I know you're on a well-deserved vacation now, so I'm going to get you out of here with this. Appreciate your time. So looking ahead here, we talked about the people that you want. You've been in this game for a long time. You turned pro in 2007. It's been about 15 years. Do you have a roadmap in front of you of the things that you still want to achieve in boxing, and what you were going to have to do going forward to eventually, when you say, oh, okay, I got to call it a day? Is that going to be based on your body? Is that going to be based on what, if you hit those goals that you have in mind? What does the future look like for Keith Thurman?
I think calling it a day definitely has everything to do on the body. When it comes to the welterweight division, become the unified, undisputed champion. I've already been a unified champion. So being the undisputed champion would be the highest accolade that there is out there. But, most importantly, what I love to do is entertain and do my best to bring you guys some of the most exciting fights of the welterweight division. So I want all my fights to be exciting. And I think just the way that I fight, that, to a certain degree, all of my fights are exciting. But I also want to make those big fights, those super fights and those mega fights that the fight fans really love, appreciate, and pushes me to the limit and challenges me as a fighter. We know Keith one-time Thurman has been beaten one time. Who's going to beat me two times? Is there another fighter that will ever beat me? Like I said, I messed up in 2019. I don't see that I'm a defeated fighter. I don't feel like I was defeated by Manny Pacquiao. It was a split decision. So at the end of the day, I want to know if there's anybody who can defeat Keith Thurman out there. So I love a challenge. I love great fights. And that's what I'm looking forward to in this beautiful welterweight division. There's a lot of great matchups out there.
And I think everyone agrees that the welterweight division is better with you in it. And it's good to see you active. Enjoy vacation. Well-deserved. I want to thank you so much for the time, and I hope to see you soon, and hope to see you in the ring soon as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you for all the love and support. One time back, baby. Let's go.